Any views or opinions expressed on KUR are not necessarily those of Kutztown University, Kutztown University Student Government, Kutztown University Student Services Incorporated, KUR staff and management, or other affiliated organizations.
Only making appearances in a very flustered state. Hello, everybody. Good evening, Good morning, good night, good ether state. You're now listening to the radio voice of Kutztown University, KUR. And welcome aboard the Paranormal Express, your only ghostly solution to point...
Yeah.
Void.
I want to see where you're going with this.
Yeah. I'm trying to figure it out myself.
That's how we run this show.
Yeah, that's how we do things here. My name is Nicholas Zerfos, one of your hosts, and with me is
Jake McDaniel.
And we're glad you're here today. We had to take an unfortunate hiatus last week, but that's okay. We're back and hopefully stronger than ever. But we'll have to see. Can't get much stronger as a ghost.
What do you mean? I got these gains.
Yeah, you're right. Ghost gains, man. Ectoplasm. There are solutions aplenty to make ectoplasm
Ghost
look
way.
Good. Ghost way.
No way.
No way.
Yeah.
We have a Swoley Bible of our own, some might say. So, but yes, if you're joining us today, today's topic is going to be that of demons. Very spooky, very dark. I wouldn't even call it a dark episode.
It's very mythological, I think.
Yeah, if anything, in origin, we're not going to be talking about the...
And what I'm talking about goes into philosophy, too. So
yeah.
At least the first thing I'm talking about, which is daimons, D-A-I-M-O-N, or daemon, D-A-E-M-O-N. Mm-hmm. Which I guess I can just jump into the topic.
Might as well. Let's get going.
So the original Greek word, which I obviously can't pronounce, I don't know Greek. It's all Greek to me. It literally translates to God, godlike, power, and fate. They were not what modern people would consider demons, which, of course, you're going to talk about the most famous demon, at least in my opinion, Baphomet. Mm-hmm. It's the one that most people would have seen, at least, even if they don't know that it's a demon, or he's a demon. But these are not like that. These are just spirits. They were, according to Socrates, or Plato, because he was the one writing it, but during Socrates' trial, he is put on trial as a blasphemer, meaning that he doesn't believe in the religion of the ancient Greeks. He didn't believe in the gods, like Zeus and stuff. And he's like, of course I do. I believe in their children, the daemons, daemonia. He's like, and if you believe in the child of something, its offspring, obviously you believe in that thing. That was basically the argument there. It's been a while since I've read that, though. But yeah, that's basically what daemons are. They are not super... they're kind of deities, kind of not. This article calls them tutelary deities, which are like personal deities, which... It's interesting because I'll read this little concept from another thing Plato wrote called Timaeus. This is the philosophy I was going to get into. It's a little dense, not really that dense though. It just says, wherefore care must be taken that they have their motions relatively to one another in due proportion. And as regards the most lordly kind of our soul, we must conceive of it in the wise. We declare that God has given to each of us his daemon, the kind of soul which is housed in the top of our body, meaning, I guess, the mind, and which raises us, seeing that we are not an earthly, but a heavenly plant up from earth, towards our kindred in the heaven. And herein we speak most truly, for it is by suspending our head and root from that region whence the substance of our soul first came, that the divine power. So basically, he's saying here that we are created in God's image. And it's important to note here that God in this sense is not Abrahamic or Christian or anything like that, because Plato existed or lived before that was really popular, especially in Greece. He lived during the time when the religion was probably waning a little bit. Like, people weren't seriously believing in Zeus, I think, at that point, but I could be very wrong. But yes, this little bit here defines daemon as genius, meaning like mind, I guess, or guardian angel. That's another concept with the daemon, is that it's literally like an angel, a being that's sent to protect you, which is where it kind of blends into the modern witch concept of like a familiar, more modern anyway. It's not antiquity, it's not ancient. But yeah, that's interesting with them. Yeah, they're often also just referred to as power. As I mentioned to you before, usually the word used by most philosophers for God in ancient Greece is theos, which is where we get theology and stuff like that, which is just the study of God. Or I guess it would be. Sometimes daemon is used in place of that, and so they're kind of interchangeable at this point. Although they do believe that daemons, or at least when they believed of them as in the sense of spirits, they believe that there were both good and evil ones. But yeah, sometimes the weirder thing to me that I still don't really understand is sometimes they're just called supernatural power, which I don't know what they mean by that exactly.
Interesting.
But that's pretty much it for them. If you want me to explain
to personify something as supernatural power, is that just like almost like they're the phenomena of power?
Yeah, I think it's just like a force.
So
force of nature. They use it to explain things.
It just lends itself to be an umbrella term for a supernatural happening.
Yeah, pretty much.
Whether or not, and I can see why that would be a point of philosophy, is trying to apply the characteristics of anything to something that is an unforeseeable, ununderstandable force is difficult, and is probably why, I mean, it's argued often and everything. Even today, we don't call it demonia, but we do understand supernatural.
Yeah. It says here, later philosophical speculation envisaged these as lower than gods, possibly mortal, but superior to humanity, i.e. angels or demons, which is this, of course, daimon. This is where we get the term demon.
Okay.
And yeah, this kind of blends into the modern demon, especially in Christianity, because, of course,
Of course. So, yes. I think that's a great way to start off the show, because, I mean, it's the building blocks of what we're going to be talking about. So before I move on to continuing talk of demons, I have a really quick note from the good conductor. And it says, from the KUR Notebook, attention KU community, please bear with me, this is going to be a long one. Due to the ongoing labor shortage affecting the country, some dining facilities on campus are also feeling the pinch. But KU is happy to report none affecting operations here too much. That being said, some minor notes to pass along regarding dining hours. The Cup Cafe is open from 7 a.m. to 7 p.m. Monday through Thursday, and 7 a.m. to 6 p.m. on Friday. The Cup Cafe is available for to-go only from 3 to 7, Monday through Thursday, and 3 to 6 on Friday. The Academic Forum Food Court offers all your Zocca and Los Nostar pizza from 10:30 a.m. to 2 p.m. Monday through Friday. Chick-fil-A will serve all your chicken favorites Monday through Friday, 10:30 a.m. to 7 p.m. The first floor on the South Dining Hall will continue 24/7 access with sunny sides open from 9 p.m. to 7 a.m. Late night bites are available from 9 p.m. to 1 a.m. on the first floor of the South Dining Hall, 7 days a week. Whew. This message of community interest brought to you by the radio voice of Kutztown University, KUR. Imagine being so bothered with food anymore. Something we cannot tell.
It's great not needing
anymore.
to eat.
Yes, it is great. Though I do miss enjoying food. There are very few ways spirits like us can enjoy a flavor, and most of them are frowned upon in the 50 states. So I don't know why specifically the states, but anyway.
Everywhere else is fine with it.
Everywhere else
Except
is
Singapore.
fine. I don't know why. Dude,
Except Singapore. They don't like anything.
America's got no chill on that front. But okay, so I'd like to break into not the most famous demon of all, but one that is extremely popular with modern media and its placement in the internet world specifically, just because I am personally fascinated with the way folklore and legends can spread like wildfire because of the phenomenology of just, or that's not the right word. That's a philosophy study.
Oh, yeah.
That is a thing, yes. Just the fanaticism that follows things that can grow like trends. Obviously, platforms like TikTok and YouTube can spread these things immediately because day one, I mean, it makes stars.
Any ghost social medias?
I wonder. I never check. I don't know. We don't
get very good reception here.
We don't.
How do we get the show out?
We
Or do we
get
just kind of throw it with like a paper airplane?
Yeah, we
Message
do.
in a bottle.
Yeah.
Under the
The
aether?
good conductor puts it on a little note that he sends out
It's
every
a
time we make a
cassette tape.
certain stop. So
And he just flings it out into the void.
yeah.
Somehow makes it.
Exactly. And so I want to talk about the demon Zozo. Very popular name. Zozo, also Miza,
By the end
also
of this, we're going to be
Abacus.
haunted. Wait, we are ghosts. How are we going to get haunted?
We're going to have a stern talking to from management about
Yeah,
our
probably.
name dropping because in a lot of, specifically Judeo-Christianity,
Yeah.
there's a lot of faith behind superstition. You're not supposed to be superstitious at all because any form of superstition that is not in God's name can summon any form of evil or negativity. Literally, if you go to the strictest sects of Christianity, there's literally crossing fingers and even folding their hands to pray is even seen as superstition in some religions, just because it's an action of that. So crossing all four fingers and folding hands and knocking on wood while praying, you're going to summon the most powerful demon, let me tell you.
Is that wood? Or is that fake wood?
This is like fiber wood, I guess you could call this. It's like wood chewed down and then glued back together.
Okay. Still wood, though.
Still wood, yes, in essence. So basically, what is Zozo? Well, Zozo is the demonic daddy of many a college slumber party, trumping many thoughts of boys in class study crunching. A classic folklore demon with mentions dating as far as 1818. Doesn't sound too old, but that's one of the earliest like written accounts that you can find. And it was in a dictionary called Le Dictionnaire Infernal, which is a French text accounting many occult findings.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
Because that's, I think, where Baphomet comes from, too.
Yeah, that is, yes. Although there's going to be many people that call themselves zozoologists and will argue that it could be African or Sumerian in origin. It's very hard to depict.
Could have taken inspiration from that.
Because in the Le Dictionnaire Infernal, even the author itself, which I could have swore I had his name on here. Very, very long named man. I think it was just...
What's the name of it? The book?
Le Dictionnaire Infernal. I could have swore I had it up. But...
I got it.
Basically...
Oh, it's Jacques Colin de Plancy.
It's actually... I saw it longer than that. He had like 3 more names thrown in
well, that's
there.
the one that just comes up when you Google it.
Yes, but that is Le Plancy, or Pansy.
De Plancy.
De Plancy is his name.
Jacques Colin.
He actually did more research into the accounts of the Zozo demon. And one of the actual eyewitness and physical accounts was of a little girl that was persistently exorcised for demons and possessions to the point where...
Oh, there it is.
Actually...
Found his full name.
Yes.
Jacques Albin Simon Colin de Plancy.
Yeah, it's a few, at least 2 or 3 more names in there.
Yeah.
But this little girl was actually, through her earlier ages, into the point where actually she got arrested a few times for beliefs of faking those possessions because it got to a point where it was too frequently that it was almost used for fame and fortune rather than an actual legitimate existence of it. So that's where the origin of Zozo gets a little iffy. Most references to it in texts older than that, the Lac Dictionnaire Infernal, are usually dismissed or seen as very, very vague and impossible to prove to actually be a true representation of the demon. And of course, it is a trickster demon, believed to be a trickster in nature, so it could take too many forms and be referenced in many other spirits, because a lot of spirits that are contacted through the means that is way Zozo's contacted, which is typically a Ouija board. Classic Ouija boards, gotta love them.
Yeah.
Almost everybody I know does not mess with Ouija boards, regardless of how spiritual they are or not. But because of that, they believe many spirits will pretend to be Zozo just because of his big bad boy reputation, just to scare people, because it's a great way to do so. Some characteristics of a haunt. It's definitely during Ouija board sessions that it is called upon, usually most times by accident, but sometimes purposefully, just as a game. So two of the characteristics are a figure 8 pattern with the planchette across the board, as well as the rapid launching from Z to O across the board repetitively. Then after that, many paranormal happenings will follow, rapping and tapping on the walls, growls and hissing, and then many accounts of those being haunted by Zozo end in some sort of unfortunate event within the next 7 days of its contact.
Do you think, like, when they're rapidly going between Z and O, he's like, oh my god, they're saying my name!
Yay, that's me!
Yeah. There's something called the Zozo Championship. Is that like a golf thing?
Is that really?
Yeah, it came up as a video.
I don't know. I've seen there's the company called Zozo as well, which is pretty unfortunate. Okay, that's unfortunate. If it were to be true and it's their balls just keep missing the holes or just get picked up and thrown into the water.
they look over and there's just a bunch of balls spelling out Zozo.
That would really suck. Yeah. Still super, super unfortunate to have a golf course. I mean, golf is already unlucky enough of a sport because it's horrible. But anyway, I'm not going to get into that discussion now. You guys should try ghost golf sometime. That's great. Because if you can cheat so easily, because people just go, whoa, it's another ghost. Not me, though. Especially poltergeists. Worst opponents ever. Let me tell you. Anyway, off track. I forgot where I was at.
Don't remember.
Okay, so talked about tapping on the walls, growls, hissing. Many accounts led to unfortunate events happening over the next 7 days. It became to the point where superstition believed that Zozo would contact more of those with unfortunate forms of depression or even with suicidal thoughts could increase its power, because the classic superstitious belief is that spirits can feed off of more negative energy than good energy, positive energy. So manipulating that energy is easier for it to gain power and do things like that. One of the interesting things, and it's something I tap upon mostly when I talk about like a internet phenomenon spirit, is that the frequency of its appearance grows only with the singular time it appears can grow 10 to 20 more accounts and only exponentially grow from there. Many people get reaffirmed by a simple search of Zozo the Demon in any Google or any browser will bring tens of thousands of responses from many different people, many different Zozoologists, and many different personal accounts people have, because it's too easy to marry superstition with like very minute facts that actually happen. Because once you see 100,000 other people say that they've met the same thing, you easily start to believe it, to the point where it has the power of a hive mind effect, actually, to where it literally many people would know and believe in it because of those things. Just as a recommendation from the spirit realm, for the love of goodness, everybody, don't play with Ouija boards. If you do,
but Hasbro made them.
Don't play with the Monopoly ones. Get the real ones.
Make your own.
Make your own.
Go out to a tree, cut it down.
Yeah, or just do it on a tree. That'd be kind of cool. Do it on a stump. No, but seriously, guys, don't mess with that stuff or whatever. If you do, what do they say? You're supposed to spell out goodbye when you're done. That's
that's how
the
you get
thing,
rid of
because
the-
that closes
yeah.
the veil and everything. But yeah, so I'm just trying to see if I have.
You think if you spell out hello, you think if we do it here in the spirit realm and we spell out hello, Adele will find us?
It's me. It's either Adele or Lionel Richie.
You're
I don't
right.
know.
But
It's either or.
is Lionel Richie dead?
I'm pretty sure he's still alive. Let's see. I haven't seen him, so that's positive.
Well, I mean, we're stuck in this train.
No, not Messi, not the football player.
Should probably continue though.
No, he's totally. Yeah, sorry, that was a lot
He's
of dead air
alive?
there, folks. Yes, he's alive. He's still alive.
Okay.
He's only 72.
Okay.
And of course, Zozo's appearances were made much more frequent when Ghost Adventures themselves, the top dogs in ghost hunting, had like 2 or 3 specific episodes centered around contacting Zozo with Ouija boards and all that stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, that's some classic Ghost Adventures right there. That's like 2007 stuff. When Nick Roth was still on there. Sorry, I'm a fan of Ghost Adventures. Still haven't met them yet. No, I have not been on their show yet. But I've been trying, dude. I don't know what it is. They don't go to train yards or anything like that. So we're never there. I've pleaded with the good conductor to do that, but no, never happens. So yeah, this is definitely a good time as any to transition. We have a few messages to bring your guys away from the good conductor's former alma mater, and we'll be right back after that. Of course, you're still on board the Paranormal Express on the radio voice of Kutztown University, KUR.
Hey you! Are you a fan of hard rock, heavy metal, or just plain old rock and roll? Well then you should check out Decades of Decadence, a KUR radio show with all of your favorite hard and heavy classic rock songs from the 60s, 70s, 80s, and 90s. Every show we take 2 songs from those decades and play them so we give you a little taste of what music sounded like back in the old days. So if you jive to the Beatles, rock out to Kiss, or headbang to Iron Maiden, you should check out Decades of Decadence, Mondays 8 to 9 p.m. on KUR, the radio voice of Kutztown University.
Hashtag Together for PASSHE means partnering for student success. Whether you're a student, faculty staff member, trustee, or a graduate, you can speak to the impact of a state system education. Every month, join the state system in sharing why extraordinary state support is critical for student success and the economic and social vitality of Pennsylvania's communities and the Commonwealth. Learn more at www.passhe.edu/together for PASSHE. Again, that's PASSHE.edu/together, the number 4 PASSHE. This message brought to you by the PA State System of Higher Education and Kutztown University Radio, KUR.
Hello, good evening, ladies, gentlemen, and non-binary friends. You are now listening to the radio voice of Kutztown University, KUR. God, this train is loud. And speaking of trains...
You're going to try to tell the conductor to turn down the train? He'll just vomit on you.
I might try, but yeah, you're right. It's not worth it.
You'll just throw ectoplasm.
Yes. This is the Paranormal Express.
He doesn't actually talk.
You're non-stop. Non-stop. We don't stop here. Oh, man. Okay, well, if you're joining us and you missed the beginning half, basically we're talking about demons today. Now, very spooky sounding, but honestly, we're just taking light to the idea of many folklore traditions and things. You're talking more about the mythology and stuff. We just spoke about the origin of the word demon and demonia. But honestly, yes, because of the stance I think we both take, it's pretty common, the fact that there's a lot of misunderstandings with Satanism and the way demons appear
Especially like
nowadays.
a lot of the demons, like the ones you're talking about, that come from France
Yeah.
and not like, ancient Iran.
Or Sumeria
Yeah.
or Egypt or any of these things. Just, yeah. So,
Egypt.
anyway, yep, hope you guys
That's what
stick
they do,
around. So, Jake, where did you want to take us now?
So I'm going to go to the far east, I think. Is that what that would be called? Japan. So one of the most well-known things from Japan now are the oni. A lot of people know about them or like them or think they're interesting. I don't know the reason for that, actually. I haven't decided to look into that yet, but I'm going to talk about oni, which are demons. That's how they're usually translated, but they're also evil spirits. They are generally evil, but they're often considered to be like goblins or trolls or ogres or orcs. Like, there's a lot of different things that they're like. All those things, not really that similar. They have some similarities, but they're different things. But oni are often just called one of those things. They're depicted usually with like blue or red face paint or green face paint as well. They have exaggerated facial features with long teeth, tiger pelt loincloths. They also carry club weapons called, they're made of heavy iron. They're called kanabo. I don't know if that's how that's pronounced. But they are very much so very feared in Shinto. But there are also some Buddhist elements to them, which I will get into a little bit. So they're usually Shinto yokai spirits, which is why they're called yokai, because that's a Shinto concept. But they're also a part of Japanese Buddhism. They are born from the souls of wicked people who died and went to one of the Buddhist hells. But they're also the demonic transformation of living people who are just depressed, basically. They're very sad. But instead of people, when they transform, they become something like a giant or an ogre or some demonic thing. When they are a dead person who becomes a soul, who becomes they serve the Buddhist great Lord Enma, who is the ruler of hell. And their job basically in hell is to torture various people and souls down there.
Eesh.
In horrifying ways.
Oh, boy.
That is what it says here, yeah. But oni on Earth are a little bit different. They are yokai, born from the souls of people who are wicked, that transform to oni before death. Essentially, when they become... when someone is so incredibly evil, they become an oni. But yeah, and then here it goes into how they're considered yokai, but they're not. But they're also part of Buddhism. That's because basically Japanese Buddhism and Shinto have lived coexisting for so long that they've kind of blended a little bit. But they're usually evil, but modern depictions sometimes will make them a little bit less evil, kind of like with the Tengu as well, another yokai. But there was one story I saw here, which is apparently pretty popular. It's on a different page. It's called The Red and Blue Oni. Which, I'm going to read this little synopsis of it, I guess. It's not actually the story itself. It says, in the story, a red Oni tries to become friends with humans, even writing friendly messages on his house and making sweets. However, Oni are known for being scary and sometimes being man-eaters, so everyone stayed away. Eventually, he asks his friend Blue Oni for help on what he should do to let the humans know he was their friend. The Blue Oni comes up with a plan. He'd pretend to be an evil Oni and attack the human village. The Red Oni could heroically come in and save the humans by chasing off the Blue Oni. They enact this plan, and the Red Oni befriends the humans like he wanted. However, he soon realizes that his friend the Blue Oni hasn't come around, so he goes to Blue Oni's house to see if something happened. He finds a letter from the Blue Oni who writes that he will stay away from the humans so that the Red Oni can still be friends with them, as the humans would recognize him as the evil Oni that attacked. The story ends with the Red Oni crying for having lost his old friend. But yeah. Trying to see if I have one. Oh, yeah. So Oni are like heavily symbolic. They're a major plot point in a lot of folklore and myths. Like, if you've heard of the story of Momotaro or Peach Boy, he basically gathers a bunch of like friends around Japan and then goes to the island of Onigashima and attacks the Oni there. The Oni village there, who are rampaging throughout Japan, I guess. It's interesting in that one, though, because that story is an old story, but it became popular again in like the 1940s during World War II, and as like a form of nationalism and trying to, build up Japanese pride among their civilians, their people. And so, of course, Momotaro and his various animal friends represented the populace of Japan working together to, win the war. And the Oni represented America, usually, because they were their enemy. But Oni are, they symbolize like the harshness of the world very often. The Oni literally translates as hidden, supernatural, fierce, or wrathful. And that's usually because the earth-roaming Oni hide before attacking travelers. And you can see them in various depictions in modern stuff, a lot of anime, but you can even see them in Avatar: The Last Airbender. There's an Oni in there. Not an actual Oni. Someone dresses up like an Oni.
Yes.
You know who it is, right? I was going to say Zoro. That's not. It's Zuko.
It's Zuko, yeah.
The blue Oni.
The blue Oni, yeah.
Yeah, usually called the Blue Spirit, but he's a protective ninja.
Now, did your research ever get into tying Hibuki theater with like Oni masks and things?
No, that's just a depiction of Oni, I think.
Okay. Yeah, I assume so, because most of the masks in...
that does talk about how people will do that. Like, in modern times, people will dress up as... they'll put on Oni masks at like festivals and then they'll dance. But it's similar to like how we talked about with Halloween. How like people will dress up in costumes and stuff to ward off evil spirits.
Yeah.
It's
Or
the same thing, basically.
Like some military depictions of armor incorporate features of an Oni or even ogres at that as well. In which they have the teeth and fangs, and then we'll even have the giant eyes with the eyebrows. In theater, they use a They use the colors to represent either the good forces of good and evil and their appearances and things. Very interesting how the iconography goes with that. But
iconography isn't the right word there.
That's not the right word.
Yeah, iconography is specifically like ancient depictions of like in art. Like
great.
Physical carvings.
Cool. Goofed that one. Well,
it's
anyway.
fine. It works. But
that's fine. That's why this is a discussion. Anyway, where are we at? Okay. Do you have any more on Oni? Or
not really.
Okay. I don't have much on Baphomet, though. I wish I had a lot more because it's a very, very important symbol. Basically, you've definitely seen some depiction of Baphomet. The most modern depiction is by that of a French occultist, Eliphas Levi. And his book, Transcendental Magic, Its Doctrine and Ritual. Basically, the depiction of Baphomet is a statue of a goat with a pentagram on its forehead, a pitcher pouring liquid towards his head, wings. Its both arms, left and right, are pointing with two fingers. One is pointing up, one is pointing down. The caduceus at its chest, its waist, and then two children at its side. Now, what each of those symbols mean, basically, the two fingers pointing both directions is a gesture of as above, so below, which is commonly taken as the idea of the balance between mercy and justice, as heaven above is that of mercy, and then hell below is that of justice for sinners.
Yeah, Baphomet is very strong in duality.
Yes.
It's also why it's usually hermaphroditic.
Yep. Yes. Levi had in statements in the book talking about taking away its originally having breasts while remaining as you said, hermaphroditic, or where it would have both characteristics, though it's not. You can't really derive.
I mean, it also has a goat head. So.
Yeah, it's very difficult to derive any form of gender or sexual specifics from it. Also, some depictions and drawings from Levi have the phrase. Where did I have it? Just had it. Oh, Salve et coagula. So basically, Salve et coagula is just to dissolve and coagulate, which again refers to more of that duality in its appearance in Baphomet,
right.
Or like to destroy and rebuild. Because I can understand the standpoint of the duality, because it seems like the entirety of the Satanic Temple's existence is that of a fairness in representation in many of its beliefs.
It's interesting because in a lot of Western culture, there isn't too much duality in a single being like that.
No.
But there is a lot in like Eastern cultures.
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of that.
Yeah, there's like an equality to its power, and also like a weakness and everything.
Taoism, I think.
Yeah.
The yin yang.
Exactly. Which is, it's interesting because, most Western religions.
But I guess that also
cultures,
hints at Baphomet's origins. Did you find anything about that? Because I know a little bit about that.
Not 100%, no.
Okay. Which I don't know if this is 100%, but from what I know, Baphomet is, and I'm only going to use this word, which you can cut it out just in case it is bad, which I think it's okay because I said it before and you left it in.
Mm-hmm.
It's the bastardization of... Baphomet is the bastardization of Muhammad.
Yeah.
The Islamic prophet.
I read something about that, yes.
Yes, there were some Templars who were basically converted to Islam during the Crusades.
Yes, I have that, literally.
Okay.
So the first mention of Baphomet was in a letter written in 1098 by Anselm of Ribamount, describing the siege of Antioch during the First Crusade. Anselm stated that the Turks called loudly upon Baphomet. Most scholars believe that the word refers to Muhammad, the founder of Islam, in 1307. Philip IV of France had every Templar in France arrested, accusing them of such heretical acts as idolatrous worship of a bearded male head called Baphomet. And then by the 19th century, Freemasons had also been falsely said to worship Baphomet itself again. So yeah, that does make a lot more sense. Yes. And then, of course, like, we're going to talk about France again. I already said, like, the French occultist Levi was the one that made the modern depiction of what Baphomet might have been.
Right.
With that.
With the go-ahead. And
yeah. Interestingly enough, modern-day usage of Baphomet as well, the whole statue that I was going into describing also is used as a counter-protest to the existence of many statues in displays of the Ten Commandments, monuments, and public spaces. And now, even more so today, is used as a counter-conservative point as it supports the idea of free religion, freedom of the practice of religion, which has grown into a fallacy nowadays, because
it really only applies to Christians.
It really only applies to Christians, unfortunately. And again, yes, disclaimer, none of the opinions that we have here are that of Kutztown University or anything. But but yes, so yeah.
We already had that disclaimer though.
Yeah, we did. I just feel like I have to say it again so we don't get super shut.
All right.
So yeah, that's about what I have for Baphomet then. That was the most important part, was like its origin, and then how the entirety of the Satanic Temple nowadays is used as a place of freedom for people, specifically those
we
that
should also probably mention that modern Satanists, or at least LaVeyan Satanists, are atheists. Like, they don't genuinely believe in Satan.
Yeah. It's interesting because
symbolism.
there's a difference between the Satanic Temple and the Satanic Church. Because, as you said, LaVeyan Satanism is the Church of Satanists.
Which
these are more
was a
Gnostic.
Christian.
Yeah.
And he's agnostic,
Yeah. These are Gnostic beliefs in the temple.
Okay,
so,
I see what you mean there.
Yeah.
He got mad at priests.
Yes.
For being lecherous.
Seems to be what the Temple of Satan is trying to be, is a place for people who are refugees from former religions that were oppressive against them for whatever reason that they are, which is many, unfortunately. So, all right, so this is as good a time as any to turn it to more messages, and we'll be back with some more demon talk right here on the radio voice of Kutztown University, KUR.
Email any suggestions to kur@kutztown.edu. Complaints, concerns, questions, whatever you may be thinking at the time, it's kur@kutztown.edu.
Programming on Kutztown University Radio brought to you in part by the students of Kutztown University. I'm Stan Chuck. Checking campus headlines. The Kutztown University Foundation has broken ground on the Wells Rapp Center for Mallet Percussion Research. The facility will be home to Kutztown's growing collection of music, photos and artifacts, along with the rare and valuable vintage collection of mallet percussion instruments that have been acquired over 3 decades. The 13,250 square foot building will include a 2,100 square foot performance space in addition to rooms dedicated to each of Kutztown's specialized collections of rare marimbas, xylophones, vibraphones, bells, steel pans, and chimes. The Wells Rapp Center for Mallet Percussion Research will be a working facility, open to students as well as researchers, and will allow access to play the instruments as well as view one-of-a-kind materials unique to this center. In other news, Kutztown University and Rodale Institute have signed a 5-year agreement of academic cooperation, establishing a research affiliation for the mutual benefit of both institutions. Rodale Institute is a non-profit research and education institution founded in 1947 by organic pioneer J.R. Rodale to study the link between healthy soil, healthy food and healthy people through regenerative organic agriculture. The institute's headquarters can be found on a 333-acre farm with research facilities located less than 6 miles from Kutztown University, where it maintains field laboratories and a full complement of staff and equipment to generate scientific data. The agreement provides Kutztown students and faculty the opportunity to partner with Rodale Institute personnel and researchers from around the world on field research in the areas of soil health, organic practices for farming and pest management, composting and pollinators. Internship opportunities will also be available for students. And Kutztown University and Hawk Mountain Sanctuary have renewed a 5-year agreement of academic cooperation establishing a research affiliation for the mutual benefit of both institutions. The renewal happened on August 25th at the Acopian Center for Conversation Learning in Orwigsburg. We check news hourly here on your news leader, KUR.
Hello, everybody, ladies and gentlemen, and non-binary friends. You're now back on board the Paranormal Express here on the radio voice of Kutztown University, KUR. If you're just joining us, what's the hot topic of today? Well, it is demons. Good Lord, that sounds scary, doesn't it?
No.
Funny how I follow it up with good Lord.
No, in case you didn't know,
Yeah.
I went to demon school. I am actually a demon.
Okay. Suddenly uncomfortable.
You should be. I am a demon of uncomfortable.
Gotcha. But basically, we're talking about the more harmless side of them, because honestly, they get a bad rap. I know a few guys. They get a pretty bad rap. But yeah, so I was talking about Baphomet, and
I'm going
its
to take it even
involvement
older than that.
in the Satanic
The
Temple.
original. The OG demon.
Oh man, take us
Not
away
really.
then.
But it's the one that I love the name of him.
Okay.
I first heard about him from Futurama.
Ah, classic show.
Yes. Where there's a gargoyle called Pazuzu, which is the name of a king of demons from Akkadian mythology, I think, or some Mesopotamian religion. He is the demon of the wind, the southwest wind to be specific. I'm going to read his depiction, but I'm going to leave part of it out because I don't know if we can say that. Pazuzu is often depicted as a combination of diverse animals and human parts. So he's a chimera, I guess. Although chimeras are a real thing, but they're in botany. He has the body of a man, and this is in iconography, so like statues and stuff of him are depicted this way. The head of a lion or a dog, and he has talons of an eagle with 2 pairs of wings and a scorpion's tail. In iconography, he also usually has his right hand up and his left hand down for some reason. Kind of like Baphomet.
Sounds familiar, yeah.
Which maybe that's where they got it for Baphomet.
It's possible.
Maybe he was looking at old demons. But yeah, in mythology, Pazuzu, as I said, is the demon of the southwest wind. He's a king of demons as well. He is known to bring famine during dry seasons and locusts during rainy seasons. But he's also invoked in a similar way to how the Tengu and Oni have become sort of protective demons of like local people. He is invoked to protect mothers during childbirth from a malicious goddess who is also his rival apparently, called Lamashtu. Despite being an evil demon, he is known to scare other evil spirits away and protecting humans, and he's used to protect humans against misfortune and plague. Another interesting thing is that he is the demon that possesses Regan McNeil in The Exorcist.
Oh, okay.
But that's pretty much all I have on him. That, like I said, it's very short.
Yes, very. That's cool. The Exorcist, very classic.
Yeah.
The classic.
That's the novel and the film, yeah.
Yeah.
From
The Exorcist is such a
1971.
novelty movie because it made so many classic appearances. So many people's understandings of exorcisms and everything like that stem from that story. Cool. Where are we at? Do you wanna go over your message from the
sure.
conductor? Why not?
Yeah. Just gotta dust it off a little bit.
Of course.
It's pretty old. From the KUR Notebook. Attention KU community. The Offices of Student Involvement and Alumni Engagement have embarked on a year-long project for the campus community. The Kutztown Mosaic is a living photo representation of all things golden. Check the mosaic to see contributed photos. Share photos from the mosaic to your social media. Upload and share your photos to the hashtag #TogetherWe'reGolden mosaic. Click the upload photo, select a photo, and post. It's all at kutztownmosaic.com. This message of community interest brought to you by the radio voice of Kutztown University, KUR.
Do you have another topic?
I can go over familiars a little bit, but it's mostly going to be from my memory.
Okay.
Because I haven't had much time to read over this.
Cool. If you want to drum up a little bit, I can go over something.
Because
really
I think part of it was written weird, or I read it weird.
Something that's
Anyway.
interesting, just to talk about another modern phenomena of demons. There's the old Alton Bridge, which is in Denton County, Texas, and it is infamously called the Goat Man's Bridge. many eyewitness accounts throughout decades, actually, of existence, depicts a
You want to do goat men
large
next week?
7 to 10 foot tall goat man. We could, yeah.
I've always wanted. I want to do Cabernet people.
Yeah, because it's interesting because when we talk about the imagery of demons being goats and everything, what did you say that could have stemmed from? Satyrs and stuff like that. Okay, yeah.
Or Pan.
Yeah, that specifically.
Pan is the god who is satyrs were not originally goats, but Pan has always been a goat person. Goat
Okay.
Pan. But there's others too. There's many. There's Pushan, a Vedic deity. Yeah.
It's so bizarre how pretty the bridge looks. I highly recommend listeners look up a picture. It's okay.
Is that
it's
the one
not
that you were talking about
the most
before?
scenic- yeah.
Okay.
It's not the most beautiful, of course. It's an abandoned bridge, but still, just to
think
have
people still
the
walk over
idea that it is so bizarrely haunted by all this these tales and existences. It's interesting to see it in the day versus, of course, at night.
It's just the one that people walk to and then they hear like a scream.
Yeah, many things happen. The worst of all being seeing the goat man itself.
I want to see him.
But yeah, he sounds like a
I
chill
want to have a
dude.
drink with him.
Goats are cute, all right? Real goats?
They
They're
are.
cute.
Have you seen the video of the goat where he climbs under the oven and
Yes.
comes out and just wags his tail?
Yes, exactly.
I think it's a baby goat though, to be fair.
But yeah, I really like the idea of it, and it's just in Texas. It's just in Texas.
So that's not the one you were talking about before. You were talking about the dog suicide bridge.
No, that is not the same one. No,
Okay.
that's from Scotland. Yeah. That I didn't get to read much into.
That is a
but-
walking bridge too, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, it is.
People
Yeah.
walk their dogs over it.
But yeah,
Okay. So I can talk
yes.
about familiars a little bit if we have. How much time do we have left?
about 4 or 5 minutes.
Okay, that's pretty easy, I guess. So if you don't know what a familiar is, it's from it's a Wiccan or a neo-pagan thing. Although I guess it wasn't originally. I don't know exactly where they come from because, like I said, I haven't really been able to read over this much. But I know in there's a bunch of old English witch trials documents that just list out the names of familiars. I want to find that really quick, actually, if I can, because they're great. They're all English witch trials familiar list. Come on. Oh well,
Bing, bing,
I can't
bing.
find it exactly. Maybe it's on this page. Well, there's something called Prince Rupert's dog here. But yeah, because of the witch trials in England, we have a lot of documentation about familiars, which they were just, or at least of the names of familiars. They're just like spirits, basically, that kind of help witches or people who summon them, which is usually witches. But yeah, it's very interesting. There's something here that says they usually come in the form of smoke. As opposed to depictions of ghosts with their smoky, undefined forms, they're usually like animals, or there's some defined form.
Yeah. Okay.
That's what I glanced over earlier. When they served witches, they were thought to be malevolent, but when working for cunning folk, how do you know a witch isn't a cunning folk? They were often considered benevolent, although there was some ambiguity in both cases. The former were categorized, so witches familiars were categorized as demons, but when they worked with cunning folk, whatever that exactly means, they were described as fairies.
Yeah, I have heard the terms like imps also tossed around.
I think imps are more demonic, though.
They don't seem like they'd be helpful. Most imps
But then
are
again, my
fiendish
idea of
creatures.
imps are skewed by Oblivion,
Yeah.
by Bethesda.
I mean, my understanding of imps is that they're just malevolent trickster creatures that do nothing but
All they do in Oblivion is
Find
they're
ways-
like small, muscular men who fly around and shoot fireballs at you.
that's the coolest depiction of them, if we're being honest.
They're like this big,
yeah,
which is like
but they're
about 2
muscular,
feet, maybe.
which is funny.
Actually, no, this is about it. Yeah, they're ripped. You can look up a picture of them if you want.
Because it's there's so much pulp pop culture and fiction that depicts familiars as being some kind of process that witches,
They're usually animals,
warlocks, and wizards
but,
go to.
My favorite is still the one that's just an old man.
He's an old man familiar.
Yeah.
I mean, that's cool. It's like having granddad around, just doing his thing. Yeah, son. Did you drink enough? Drink enough water?
But
you want any cookies?
Yeah, it says here at the end. Are we out of time?
You got another minute.
Okay.
But-
So since the 20th century, some magical practitioners, including adherents of neo-pagan and religion of Wicca, use the concept of familiars due to their association with older forms of magic. This is according to the article I'm reading anyway. These contemporary practitioners use pets or wildlife, or believe that invisible versions of familiars act as magical aids.
Okay. Yeah, makes sense.
That's what it says here anyway. But I don't know how people who practice Wicca would view that.
I have no idea. And I have no idea how Fots can help me, like, stir a potion or something, so... must be a pain. Yeah, he just paws it and stands on his back hind legs. But anyway, so that's as good as time to wrap up. I mean, I think this is the most amount of time we've had. So, do you want to run over how they can find us?
You can find us on YouTube at Paranormal Express with the little train with ghost smoke coming out of it, or on Twitter at paranormal_exp.
Yes. Also, if you miss any of our shows and would like to have access to on-demand versions, Spotify. If you look up Kutztown University Radio on Spotify, you can find Paranormal Express under the weekly shows. Thank you so much, everybody, for joining us on the Paranormal Express. Now it's time for you to get off at your stop, back to your nice, kind
I invited him over.
Mortal realm. Oh no! I hope he likes
butt.
tea. Yes,
It's
but
the
everybody.
gargoyle from Futurama. That's who I invited.
Oh, okay, great. But yes, good night, everybody.